Good evening, everyone. I'm hopefully going to make this quick. We'll see how it goes. But I was working on my Westcott and Horton. I was putting the scriptures, different verses that show how the changes, how they infect the rest of the scriptures. And we're going to start out with Matthew 1:25 coming up Wednesday. But I've made a decision to share something with you because I've mentioned this in the past. And if my internet is spotty, let me know. Well, I should say, if this glitches, let me know. I'm using StreamYard tonight. I don't usually use Yard to make videos. I only use it for live stream. But the software they use for just making videos doesn't seem to be working quite well. It won't share the screen like I want. But when I was looking at NIV, because I was going to the search engines, because I have a problem with search engines. I don't really use Bible apps. I don't really use search engines. I love paper. I love the actual paper because it's hard to change that. My argument is the software can be changed at any time. Anybody can change software, but they can't come in your house and change your paper. Oh, the next paper that comes out in the Bible in a store can change, yes. So that's why I argue against the search engines. Now, I've mentioned previously in King James, there was a verse, there was a word changed, and I, for the life of me, cannot remember what it is. But as I was doing the NIV, don't know why I decided to look it up in a search engine because I was curious. I believe the Spirit led me to look it up on the engine because I never use it. And lo and behold, I find the evidence of which I'm talking about that proves the point I was trying to make. It changes. Now, I'm going to read. Now, we're going to look at four search engines in a second, but I'm going to go through the paper copies because I have here the 1976 NIV New Testament, and I kept it in Matthew. So Matthew 1:25 is what we'll be looking at. And again, leave in the comments if you want. If you don't want, it's okay. But if it's been glitchy using this recording system, let me know because I don't like using StreamYard for recording videos. It doesn't seem to work very well for me. Don't know why. All right. So in the 1976 NIV New Testament, now remember, the full Bible is 78, 84, and 2011 for the NIV. Those are 3 years. Now I happen to have, well, I don't have the 78 full copy, but I do have the 76 New Testament here. And I got the 1984 and I have the 2011. So we're going to read from each one of them, and I want to show you the search engine. All right. Matthew chapter 1, verse 24 reads, "But he had no union with her until she gave birth to a son, and he gave him the name Jesus." Remember the word union. That's the 1976. So just so you see. Yeah, you can tell from it was from the 70s. Look at the clothing we're wearing there. All right, 1984. This is the 1984 NIV. Now, but he had no union with her until she gave birth to a son, and he gave him the name Jesus. That's the 1984. Now we're going to go to the 2011. By the way, that's 2011 I got here, right here. 2011. Why it's not Matthew 5, I don't know. Matthew 1:25. All right. Yeah, there we go. But he had no union with her until she gave birth to a son, and he gave him the name Jesus. All right, that's the 2011 one. Now this is a side by side, one of them parallel Bibles. This is a NIV KJV parallel. This I love the word parallel. I can never really get that word right. So it's a side by side comparison. This is in 1985. This particular hard copy. Now we're gonna read. But he had no union with her until she gave birth to a son, and he gave him the name Jesus. Now we can presume that since it's an 85, it's going to go off the 84. I'm going to have presume that. By the way, the King James Bible, he knew her not till she had brought forth her firstborn son, and he called his name Jesus. Now we are now going to go to these Bible search engines because this is what proves my point. We go right here is Matthew. What is this? Bible Hub? Yeah, Bible Hub. This is one of them. New International Version. But he did not consummate their marriage until she gave birth to a son, and he gave him the name Jesus. Consummate. That's the word. We're 1976. I got the 1984, and I got the 2011. When did consummate come along? If there's a newer NIV that I'm unaware of, and I could be, maybe the 2024 that changed the word, I don't know. Now let's go to Bible Gateway. But he did not consummate their marriage until she gave birth to a son, and he gave him the name Jesus. Let's go to the favorite a lot of people use, Blue Letter Bible. But he did not consummate their marriage until she gave birth to a son, and he gave him the name Jesus. Now let's go to this one here. What is this? Bible Study Tools. I've never seen this one. I was just looking at search engines, and I just picked a few of my new Blue Letter Bible Gateway, so I went with those. Oh, we got a little ad there. All right. And it reads here, but he did not consummate their marriage until she gave birth to a son, and he gave him the name Jesus. Now, there are other softwares that you pay for, like Logos and stuff like that, which I would never pay for, or nor would I use. But this is my problem with the softwares. The software that exists out there. We have to be very wary of those things because they can change things at any point in time. Now, if there is an NIV that came out more recently that I'm unaware of and has this change in a paper copy, I would love to know. But as you can see, 1985, 1984, 2011, 1976, all say union. Also, by the way, yes, there's no firstborn, but that's Wednesday's video. What's going on? That's why I personally don't use Bible software. That's why I suggest to others not to use it. I can see how it can feel helpful looking for a word, but then I thought to myself, what if you are looking for a word? What if you are looking for a word? What if you're looking for the word union? You think if you're an NIV person, which I am not, I'm King James. What if you're looking for, where's that union? Where is union? Well, certainly it's not there, and you're thinking it is, and now you feel crazy, don't you? Because you're like, wow, geez, I thought union was there. I guess I was wrong this whole time. No, you were right the whole time. It's 5 people in Bible software that change the words along the way. So we can see continuously changing. Now we can make the other argument that the King James never changes, but that's not for tonight. I wanted to share my point on this. Proves a point I was saying. I know, oh, you're not supposed to prove that you're right, and don't get precocious. I'm not trying to. My thing is, I try to warn people not to use Bible software because that's what can happen. That's just one word. One word. How many other words are changed on a software or Bible app that we don't know about? That's why, as a King James Bible believing Christian, I will not use these. And I'm not, and I know people going, well, I'm a King James person. Are you saying I'm not a Christian? That's not what I'm saying. Yeah, at that point. And again, we go down here and it says, and knew her not till she had brought forth her firstborn son. He calls his name Jesus. That's the King James Bible. You look at this New Living Translation. Okay, I'm going to get off the topic. But that's tonight's video. I just want to make that quick tonight. Please leave a comment. I'll probably see it afterwards. After I upload this, I'll see if it was if the video was glitchy, but I'm not a big fan of using StreamYard for videos. Live streams, yes, but videos, no. But because I wouldn't be able to share the software. So, and that's just 4 search engines. I know there's more search engines out. Okay, that's it. I just want to make a quick one for me. I appreciate it, but just try and stay away from the Bible software. I know people like to use these to compare scriptures. Me, if you're really into that, and that's a big thing for you, which it is for me, buy the paper copies. Because you may be comparing scriptures that don't exist or words that don't actually exist on these Bible apps. With that, I will say, I did not mean to do that. There we go. And with that, God bless and have a beautiful evening. And I will awkwardly hit the end button because I'm always awkward at trying to find the button on the corner of my eye. God bless. Good night.